Kevin, we're going to operate our irrigation system off of this hose bib. Now, the first thing I need to check is how many pounds of pressure are coming out of here. I need 30 to run the sprinklers. So what I did is I attached a pressure gauge to this hose bib and found out we have 80 PSI. So that's great. We're in good shape. The second thing I need to check is flow. So what we're going to do is put that 5-gallon bucket down and just open that up and time how long it takes to fill the bucket. All right, that's good, Kev.
So I got 30 seconds for 5 gallons, which is
10 gallons per minute, and that's the number we're going to use to determine what type of sprinkler heads we're going to use and how many. We want to water the lawn and the plants and not the house. Now, I know it's 9 feet from the house to this wall, so we're going to use spray heads that have an 8-foot radius.
All right.
Now, I'm going to start you here and pull the tape out, and I want you to go out to 8 feet and put in a flag for me.
All right. So is this how we get our head-to-head coverage? This nozzle is going to throw all the way back to the first, and the first is going to throw all the way to the second?
Yep, no dry spots.
All right.
I'll go right down to 16 now.
All right, 16.
All right, Kevin, here's the process. We're going to dig a 6 to 8 inch trench right down the middle of the lawn. And then into that trench, we're going to put this 1-inch poly pipe. This is our main water supply. We're going to tee into that, and attached to the tee is going to be this flexible pipe, which will allow us to put the sprinkler heads right next to the wall. Kevin, our polyethylene supply line comes in rolls of 300 feet. What I want to do right now is I'm going to cut off a piece about 8 feet long using my pipe cutter.
Okay.
And we're going to take and lay it in the trench. All right, you good down there?
Yep.
All right, lay that right down in the trench.
Yep.
Cover it up in the middle. All right, once we get this covered up, Kevin, we're going to attach our 3/8 flexible line to this end. Now we start by sliding this 1-inch clamp onto our 1-inch poly pipe. I'm going to heat up the end of the pipe.
You're just softening it?
That's right, so I can slide this fitting in the end.
Okay.
And once that goes in, we'll slide that up, and I'm just going to take and crimp it off with these crimpers, okay?
So just compression?
Right, I just tightened up that hose clamp to hold this fitting into place. Now we're going to attach our flexible pipe to the sprinkler head.
So same process?
Right, heat that end up for me. Now in this case, we don't even need a clamp. We'll simply take and slide it on the end. All right, now that flexible pipe is all the way in on that fitting. It's not going to come off. All right, with that end of the flex pipe heated up, I'm just going to slide it onto the connection. It'll be nice and tight. Now the flex pipe is tight on the fitting. We're just going to lay this head right down where we want it and backfill the line. At the next head, we're going to use this T connection. Now this is going to go in the 1-inch line. Now if you slide that clamp on.
Yep.
All right, let me slide it in. Turn it that way. Yeah.
Good.
All right, now we're going to put on our flex pipe. All right, now take the head and slide it right in. Now this orange cap is not a nozzle, but it allows us to pull up and extend the riser. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this orange cap off, and the first thing we're going to do is we are going to drop in a filter. This keeps any debris from getting up into the nozzle. And then we take our nozzle and screw it down into place.
So this is where we choose our 90 degrees or our 180 degrees model, whichever one we want?
Whatever we want. Screw it down in place, and then we're ready to go. Anytime you install an irrigation system, you have to make sure that the water from the irrigation can't contaminate the domestic water of the house, and that involves a backflow preventer.
All right.
This hose bib already has a backflow preventer mounted on it.
And in this town, that's sufficient?
It is. But if you didn't have that backflow already mounted, you could buy one like this, simply screw it on, and you would be legal in this town. But you've got to check your local ordinances.
Other towns might have different rules.
That's right.
Okay. So below the backflow preventer, we have got a timer?
Think of it as a splitter, Kevin. On this side, we have an attachment for a hose where at any time you could get water for a hose. This side is a battery-operated timer, which will tell the irrigation system when to come on and when to go off.
Perfectly sufficient for a single zone. Now we just make the last connection?
We just got to make our last connection. You give me a little heat. Good. All right, I'm just going to slide the clamp up. You want to crimp that off for me, Kev? All right, we're set to test the system.
I'll cover that up for you until you get out of there. Okay. Hey, not bad, huh?